How's it going, you guys? So some of you have asked about my current shoe rotation and also want to see my shoe collection. So before I do some clearing out of my old shoes, I figured I'd show you guys my current shoe collection and also go over which shoes I use currently and what I use them for. Alright, so let's start by brand. First up is ASICS. So I do have a retired pair of ASICS Gel Kayano 25s. This was one of my favorite workhorse stability shoes. I also have the GT2000 V8, which is very similar to the Kayano 25. I did get rid of my ASICS Evo Ride, I just didn't fall in love with the shoe and didn't want to keep it around. I do want to pick up a couple of other ASICS shoes like the Nova Blast or the Meta Racer though. Next up is Brooks. So I have an Adrenaline 19 with 400 miles on it, and I'm definitely a fan of this model once they switch to the guide rails. I have the Hyperion Tempo, which I recently released my full review on, so check that out. And I have my Cascadia as my go-to trail shoe. I also have a pair of casual shoes that are retro Brooks, and they have a coffee design and they're just fun to wear casually. Alright, now let's move to Hoka. With Hoka I have the Clifton 6, which is probably my favorite Clifton so far. I have the original Rincon, which I still enjoy time to time. It's got a decent amount of miles on it. I have the Mach 2, which I used for my full marathon and a couple half marathons. I have a Clifton 5, which I'm probably going to donate. It's just a little too stiff for me, especially compared to Clifton 6. I have a retired original Tracer, which was one of my favorite racers for shorter distances and workouts in college. And then I still have my Clifton 3, which was my first maximalist shoe and converted me to Hoka. Next up is Nike. So from Nike I have the Pegasus 37, which I just did a first impressions video on. I have a Peg Turbo 1 and a Peg Turbo 2. I prefer the 1 because I'm not a huge fan of the upper on the second version. I have a pair of Vaporfly Next Percent, pair of Zoomfly Flyknit, Zoomfly SP, which I just wear casually, Vapor Street, which I also wear casually, but is essentially a clone of the Vaporfly Elite. I also have this Pegasus 31 that I just wear around casually. It's a cool colorway. Another old shoe that I still wear around casually is this Lunar Glide 8, and a shoe that I retired but is super comfy and I really enjoy the looks and wearing around casually as well is the Epic React. Alright, now let's go to Saucony. Saucony, I currently only have two shoes. I have the Endorphin Pro and then the Peregrine trail shoe, which I used for a couple of trail races. I do plan on getting the Endorphin Speed though and comparing it to the Endorphin Pro. So I currently don't have any Skechers or New Balance shoes in my lineup, so I'd definitely appreciate it if you guys left comments down below about some pairs you'd want me to review or recommend, and also just any other brands in general that you'd like to see me review. So I just covered a lot of shoes there. If there were any that you had questions on or were curious about, leave comments down below and I'll answer any questions. Alright, anyways, let's talk about my current rotation with the shoes that I'm running in on a daily basis. So for recovery runs and long, slow runs, my first choice is the Hoka Clifton 6. It's really soft, marshmallowy, and I just don't feel like I have to pick up the pace. I can just kind of slow it down and just have really comfortable, smooth shoe. Currently, for an everyday workhorse, I'm using the Pegasus 37. It's got great traction on the outsole, good cushioning, and can handle a lot of miles. For longer runs and workouts, I'm leaning towards the Endorphin Pro. It's got a lot of cushion, a lot of bounce, that carbon fiber and foam really propel you. So this guy is what I'm using for tempo runs and fartleks and things like that. For shorter workouts, I've been using the Brooks Hyperion Tempo. This guy is great for like mile repeats or something where you just don't want a lot of bulk underneath your foot. And finally, the only stability shoe in my rotation, the ASICS GT2000 V8. I really like this guy for long runs. When my form starts breaking down, it has that extra support for me. That gel cushion in the heel is also really nice for long runs. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed my running shoe collection and seeing what I'm using currently in my current rotation. I wanted to give a few shout outs here. The first one is to Mile Gallery. They're a new site that's just starting up where you can sell and buy used running shoes and gear. So if you're like me and need to get rid of some, check them out. They also have running gear from Tin Man Elite and Nike Oregon Project. So I'll leave their link in the description below. Also, Jordan Thomas made a really cool video about running shoe rotations, so definitely check that out. I'll have that in the description as well. And also the FOD Runner. He recently made a video talking about his current running shoe rotation for the summer. It's very interesting to see what everybody's favorite picks are and what they're currently training in. So go check his out in the description below as well. So that's it for this video, guys. It's something a little different from what I normally do. I will be back to my running shoe reviews and first impressions. There are a lot of shoes coming up in July, so getting ready for that. Subscribe so you don't miss any of the new videos, and as always, keep on running.